Hey y'all, welcome back to The Crazy. It's Leslie with Phat Cat Flossing, and I'm here today to talk to you about my cross stitch. This is FlossTube episode number 111, and today is Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. I hope your 2021 is off to a great start. We've had some issues, not here at my house, but I think just our country as a whole is having some issues. Like many of you, I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow we'll usher in a less stressful time for all of us, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to my plans. As far as what's been going on around here, I'm doing great. I had a negative breast biopsy. Best news ever. And thank you to all of y'all who messaged me and offered prayers, and I sure appreciate it. Steve is doing good. He'll go back to Little Rock again. I think the second week of February. We'll follow up again and see how he's doing. But in the interim, he's doing great. He was off last week. And vacation Steve is a joy to be around. So he had a great week off, and I did next to nothing while he was off. So it was a good week for me too. 2 weekends ago, we drove to Missouri to pick up a new baby for me. She's a complete outcross to my breeding program, and I am thrilled to have her. And for those of you that are interested in more kitty stuff, I'll talk about that at the very end of the video and go get her and show you my new baby. All the kittens are doing good. We went to the vet this morning for rabies shots. And so they're a little droopy right now, but they're doing good. Prissy is due the first week of February with my first litter of kittens for 2021. And I'm so excited about that because I love my babies. And all the rest of the girls are in heat and yodeling their heads off. So you're likely to hear lots of kitty calling and trilling and generally making noise during this. And I'm sorry about that, but that's just life at my house. My grandson turned 7 today. Happy birthday, Colton. Mimi loves you. He's the light of my life. I love him to pieces. And I think that's all the news. Oh, and on Colton, we're still waiting for a follow-up with the neurologist who saw him when he was hospitalized in early December. But he is doing okay in the interim. So, and thank you to everybody who's offered prayers for him. Please keep those coming. Okay, that's all my news. 3 minutes in, let's talk about stitching. It's been, I think, almost a month, a good 4 weeks since my last FlossTube. I'm sorry, I can hear the cat fight about to start. Girls in heat are bitchy girls. It's like being in an office full of PMSy women. Anyway, so I apologize if you hear a cat fight in the background. I have gotten some stitching done, but not a tremendous amount. But I did manage to get a couple of finishes. The last time we visited, I was almost done with Cardinal Joy from Priscilla and Chelsea, and I did finish that, I think the same night I posted my last FlossTube, and I've put it away. It's finished, but I can't show you. It's somewhere in my big hutch that I have all my sewing stuff in, but it's somewhere, but it's finished. And then just yesterday, I finished, this was a sow that Farm Girl started with a bunch of folks, and I believe we started sometime last February, but I looked back in my Instagram, which is kind of my record of what I've done when, and I couldn't find that I'd put a start date. But it's been almost a year since I started Harriette Elizabeth Co. from Brenda Gervais, which is a beautiful sampler. And this will be a giveaway sometime in the future, but not today. And I completely did my own thing with this one. I converted this to color and cotton instead of the call for fancy flosses. And here was my palette of color and cotton flosses. They're beautiful. I have quite a few of them, and I just thought I wanted to use them. So that's what I did. And I have entirely made this sampler my own. The pattern was more of a general guideline than, but it's pretty and I'm very, very happy with it. All of these letters here at the front or at the top, the whole alphabet is eyelet stitches. This row here was also called for to be eyelet stitches, but you know, I am not the world's most patient person and there are only just so many eyelets I want to do. So my row is Smyrna crosses, which are much quicker than eyelets to do. But I've got it all done. There are lots of personalizations in it. And I left out several of the motifs. There were several small motifs down here and I just thought it looked a little busy. So I left those off. I was happier without it. And then instead of, because I had personalized this in so many ways, instead of putting Harriette's name down here, I did chart out and do my name 1/1. And then the date I finished it, which was yesterday. So I'm very, very happy with the way it came out. I think it's a really pretty little sampler. It's a relatively small sampler, but I think it came out really pretty. You know, the obligatory FlossTube pose there. YouTube won't use it. They'll use something with me looking like I've been hit by a truck. But hey, I tried. So that was finish number 2 since the last time I talked to y'all. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a sip of water. And then Michelle Bendy, a couple of weeks ago, came up with a new FlossTube acronym, the SAF, the start and finish. I was sworn I just saw somebody, oh yeah, Pandora. They jump up to the top of the lizard cage and then to the top of the China hutch, which makes me marginally crazy, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm sitting this way on purpose because several of you said you wanted to see more of the gigantic lizard. So he may come out, he may not. This is not the time of the year when they're real active, but you may see a ginormous lizard back there. So anyway, but I had a SAF, a start and finish. And what I started and finished was Garden House from Shepherd's Bush. And I think it took me 2 days to stitch this. It came as a little kit from Shepherd's Bush. And it's a very, very sweet little pattern. That bee is on this behind here. It's not on the fabric. Again, the obligatory FlossTube pose. This was a neat kit. It came with the linen, which I wasn't crazy about because it's kind of that, I really like soft linen and this is a little crunchy, but hey, it came with the kit. But this kit was neat because it also came with a Jill Wenzel mat, which is awesome. And obviously, you know, there's a lot more to be done to get that situated, but you can, I can't tell which way it's up and down here, moving this. There we go. Sort of. I'm so confused. It's like when you're playing video games and the axis is inverted. I'm confused. There we go. That's sort of centered. So I will be framing this and using the mat. I probably, otherwise, if it hadn't come with the mat, this, because it's so tiny, would have ended up a pen pillow, but I've got the mat and it's too cute to not use. So I just need to find a little frame that'll fit that mat. So what I need to do is take that with me and first dig through my frame stash and then hit the thrift stores if I don't have something. And again, this one also will be a giveaway in the fairly soon. So I've had a total of 3 finishes, one of which I can't find, but you get the idea. And then I did, pardon me, some work on my whips, although it doesn't seem like I accomplished much. I got a couple of days in on Bunny and Bee. Fighting the glare here. Here we go. This was my favorite market release from 2020, and it's from Annie B's Folkart, and I think it is so cute. I really want to get this one done and finished up for spring. So this one is kind of going to move up my priority list a little bit. And what I've done is some more fill in on the Beez Gap, and then I brought this on over this way a little bit, started this flower on top. With Steve being off last week, I am not a TV watcher. I just don't watch a whole lot of TV. I watch more FlossTube, YouTube kind of stuff than I do TV. But Steve loves TV. And I had heard so many people saying that they had watched the Netflix series Bridgerton and how much they enjoyed it. And I read all the Bridgerton books years and years and years ago when they first came out in the early to mid 2000s, I guess, and really enjoyed the book series. So we started that and watched it. It was as good as what you've heard. It's really, really good. It's a great period drama. It is very racy. I would not watch it with small children in the room unless you want them to be hot under the collar along with you. But it was quite good. So if you haven't watched that yet, I would recommend that you do watch that. It's very good. What you doing, Pandy? This is Pandora. She's one of Charlotte's girls that's here with me for a while to be bred. And I think she's pregnant, knock on wood. The next thing I worked on was Strawberry Fields Forever from Blackbird Designs. And I was making great progress on this. Great. I was skimming along and I had really decided I was going to work on it until I was done. And then, sorry, trying to get stuff out of the bag. And then I discovered that I'd screwed up. That's what it boils down to. So I had good progress on it. I don't think I had any of the border last time y'all saw this. So I got the border done most of the way up on both sides. I added all of this on this side is new. I think I had the urn and the bird, but these other kind of little motifs here are new. And then I had just got a very small start on, I think maybe I had one side of the fence almost done. Anyway, I finished the stone fence here and I started on this. And then somewhere along the way, after I had got both of these borders pretty much completely done, I discovered that instead of starting this 2 stitches to this side where it should have been, I started it 2 stitches too close to the middle, which is going to throw the whole blessed thing off. So I'm not frogging it. I'm just not. That's a crap ton of stitches. I'm not frogging it. I'm going to figure out a way to alter. If I can get the pattern back out here. I'm going to figure out a way to alter the fence here. I'll take out a row on either side. Like probably this middle post is probably going to go away on either side. And that will get me the 2 stitches that I need, you know, that I won't have room for between the stone fences. And then up at the top, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm probably in each corner. That looks like that will be the easiest place to keep it symmetrical. But I'm going to figure out a way to take out a stitch on either side up there. I hope. That's my plan. We'll see. But I think it's so pretty. I really, really like it. And I am so mad at myself. But, you know, c'est la vie. It is what it is. It's not worth agonizing over and ripping out, and I'm just not gonna. So I will fudge it. This is 36 count. I believe this is Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray. I think. It's a little darker. The sun's kind of blowing it out a little bit. It's a little bit darker than what it's showing up. And I'm stitching it with almost all of the called for. I have a couple of substitutions, but mostly the call for on that. I kitted this up for Mania. I think 3 years ago, and I think I actually started it for Mania 2020, I think. So anyway, I love it, and I will get back to it. I just have to figure out how to fix my fudge up. It's not COVID, but my allergies are alive and well. Oh, excuse me. I got a little bit more work in on Winter Rose Manor from Brenda Gervais. There we go. Love, love, love this pattern. I think it is so, so pretty. And Winter Rose Manor or what, I don't care. I think it's going to hang up year round once I get it done and framed. This is another None of the Call For. I kitted this up mostly from stash. Well, all from stash, with the exception of, I did buy, I didn't like the conch that was called for the house. I didn't think it was pink enough because I love me some pink. So I did buy a couple of skeins of Gentle Arts Clover, and that's what I'm using for the house. It's a very pretty variegated pink, and it is a little bit pinker than the conch that was called for. The conch that I looked at was more of a flesh tone, a little more tanny brown rather than really pink. But here's where I am. I've got good progress on it. I mean, the vast majority of the stitching is in that house. That house is huge. And I'm done with the house. So I just need to finish my borders and all the little motifs in the middle. But super happy with it. It's beautiful. Can't wait to get that done. This is also, well, shoot. I think this is also Weeks Dye Works. Yeah, this is 36 count Weeks Dye Works Platinum. And basically None of the Call For. These are almost all Victorian mottos. I may have gotten a couple of the Weeks Dye Works that I had in my stash, but the majority of them are not called for. They're just from stash. And I will be revisiting this one again soon. Sorry, another sip of water. Oh, poop, I left the pattern out. Knew that was too easy. Okay. And then I did have another new start. Y'all, I cannot stick to anything for 5 minutes. I just can't. I really had decided I was going to work on my whips. And then somebody dangled something shiny in front of me and I went squirrel and I was off and running. So a couple of days ago, I think on, I don't remember, Saturday or today's Tuesday, Sunday, I think, I started Hello Winter from Plum Street Samplers. I've had this one for a while and I think it's really pretty. You know, I love me some sheep. And this is 0 of the Call For flosses. These are all silks just from my stash. And here's where I've gotten to so far. The linen is 36 count My Little Dove from XQ Designs. So I've gotten the left side of the vine done. I'm missing a large snowflake up here. I've gotten the one cardinal done, and I have started on my sheep. I am not entirely sure that I'm going to have enough contrast between these swirlies on the sheep and the white color that I'm using for the body of the sheep. So I'm gonna, tonight my plan is to fill in a little more white around these, see if they show up. If they don't, I'll frog them out and replace that color with something with a little more contrast. But I'm hoping that it'll show up, but we'll see what we see. But that's 2 days stitching on Hello Winter from Plum Street Samplers. I love the Cardinal. He still needs a beak, but I love that fat little Cardinal. He's so round. And that brings us to my plan. Well, my plan is mostly to continue to stitch on my whips because, you know, they're pretty and I want to stitch on them. But I do have one more new start planned. And I'm sorry, I'm going to take a moment to put this up and then get the new start out because it's in the same bag. Because, you know, doing it differently would have been organized and I ain't got none of that. Okay, here we go. So since tomorrow is Inauguration Day, and I really hope that it is a new start in many ways for our country, because I think we have strayed far from the path of righteousness. And I am a political conservative. I'm a socially liberal fiscal conservative. I am neither a Republican or a Democrat because I think they're all a bunch of asses. But having said that, I'm just hoping that this can be a new start and a start of more healing rather than division. But I did want to start something new to commemorate that. And so my plan is tomorrow to start Grand Old Flag from Beth Twist Heartstring Samplery, and I do plan to do it as the drum. And this is a piece of 36 count spider waves dyed by Teresa Vinette, kitten stitcher, Shakespeare's peddler, all of the above. And I've pulled again from my stash colors to do this with. And I am hoping that as I start on this, again, our country gets to start off on the right foot positively. Again, I really don't care about your political affiliation. Just there are right things and there are wrong things, and I'm hoping that we are going to be on the right path. So that's my political rant. Worth what you paid to hear it. So those are my plans. Continue one more new start for right now, and not that'll be the last this year, and then to continue to work on my whips. And I left the pattern out again. I am consistent. Okay, what else? Oh, I do have another plan. Let me show y'all this. Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery is releasing a new series of patterns, and they're all going to be quotes, you know, a line or a title from a song of praise. This is Amazing Grace. She's calling them Sunday Stitches, and this one is Amazing Grace. And Amazing Grace is and always will be my favorite hymn. I absolutely love that song. It's very meaningful to me. And so when I saw this was coming out, I posted to Anne at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock and asked her if she was going to be getting it. And she said, yes, she was on auto ship and she would be getting it in. And Marlene Bush, Stitching by the Lake, who also lives near Little Rock, saw my post and asked if I wanted to sell it. So Marlene and I and several others will be selling this. I was in Little Rock last Friday, and Anne did not yet have the patterns in. She expected them sometime this week. So I'm going to tentatively say that we're probably going to start this out on or around March 1st, which would give everybody a little bit better than a month. If you would like to join us, we would love to have you join in. Anne has placed a second order for patterns, and I will link her shop before. She is wonderful about not only supplying the pattern, but helping you choose whether you want to do it in the called for. You know, she's happy to kit that up for you, or if you have a little bit different idea of how you want to do it. I do not yet know what the called for is. It is a fairly highly variegated neutral, from what I can tell. I don't know if I'll pull something from my stash or get something new. But it's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Kudos to Beth Twist. And again, I will link all that info down below and let you know when I know more. Marlene had a loss, I believe over the weekend. Her brother died. So, you know, all of our prayers for Marlene. I'm sure she'd appreciate them at this time. But once she's kind of on, you know, past that, I think we'll have more information about doing the sal, and I will post more info as I have it. Okay, I have a very little bit of haul. You know, I said I was in Little Rock at the Shepherd's Needle, and I picked up 2 other things while I was there. This is Liberty Hill Farm from Summer House Stitchworks. I'm really into drums right now, y'all. And I was thinking that I might start this for Inauguration Day, but there is a crap ton of stitches in this. I mean, this hill goes all the way around the drum. And I like this one better than I mean, this one's cute too, but I really wanted to do this one. But there are a crap ton of stitches in that. So, trying to be good and not start any more BAPs. That wouldn't be exactly a BAP, but it wouldn't be a quickie either. So I considered this one for my Inauguration Day start, but ultimately decided to do the heartstring samplery piece. But then I also picked up Winds of Autumn from Blackbird Designs. Again, a beautiful book, like Blackbird always does. But, you know, when I look through it, really, I think there's only one pattern in here I'm going to want to stitch. So, which is, no surprise, the bird. So, I don't know. I may resell this. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, it's a Blackbird, and buy all the Blackbirds, right? And then I got my November Silk of the Month order from Silks For You. And they are, as usual, just scrumptious. Really, really pretty. I believe it's Silks, SILKS, the number 4, the letter U.com, I think. If not, you can search Silks For You and find her website. Her Silk of the Month club is 5. I believe they're 10 meter skeins. Yes, 10 meters of 6-stranded silk in fabulous colors, including shipping for Australia for $20, which you can't beat that deal with a stick. Jo does a beautiful job with her silks. And that's all the haul I had. I was good for once, believe it or not. And that brings us to giveaways. Okay, I have 2. I went to the post office with all the stuff from my last FlossTube to mail. And apparently I had 2 that slipped down between the seats. So Julie Rose and Gwen Imbardino found these this morning when I put the kittens in the truck to go to the vet. They'll go out to you the next time I go to the post office, which will probably be late next week. Probably. I don't, as of right now, have a plan to go this week. Unless I sell a project bag, and then I will go. But those will go out the next time I go. Also, from the last video, this was a freebie. I'm going to hold it back here because it's a pattern. This was a freebie from Teresa Vanette, kittenstitcher.com. A design by Teresa Baird. And the winner for this was Sherry King. Sherry, I have not heard from you yet. I did comment on your comment when I pulled winners, so if you would please go back and look at that. I need you to email me with your mailing address and let me know your mailing addy so I can get that off in the mail to you. If I have not heard from you by the time I do another video, we'll assume it's going to be around a month-ish. And then it'll be the same story. I will repull for somebody else to win that. But please email me at Leslie, Leslie, D as in Delta, Hurley, Hurley, at gmail.com. And if you can, all of you winners, please put FlossTube up in the subject line, because sometimes it goes to my junk mail if you're not somebody that I've corresponded with before, and then it just gets lost in the shuffle because I get a metric crap ton of junk mail. So anyway, we had several other giveaways from last week. 3 others, in fact. One of which was the mybobbin.com kit. Mybobbin.com, they have very reasonably priced kits and patterns. You can check them out. They are a Russian site. I got this probably a year ago from them, but the shipping was not unreasonably long at all. I had it within, I believe, a couple of weeks when they sent me stuff to give away. So anyway, I'm calling it Clockwork Bird. It is the entire kit, including an even weave and the floss. And this goes to Robert Miller. Robert, I commented on your comment a few minutes ago when I was doing the random comment picker. So please email me, lesliedhurley@gmail.com. FlossTube in the subject line, and let me know your mailing address, and I will get that sent to you. The next thing was, I finished this fairly recently. This is All Is Calm from Shepherd's Bush. Very cute little pattern. I have used the guts of the kit. I've used the linen and the floss and the beads, buttons, whatever. So you're going to get just the pattern. And this went to Lisa Munchausen. So Lisa, same story. Please email me and I will get that sent out to you. And then the third giveaway was another Shepherd's Bush kit called Road to Bethlehem. And I forgot when I put this up as a giveaway that I had promised to forward this on to somebody. Well, I did forward it on to that somebody, and they stitched it, and it's now being mailed back to me. So as soon as I receive it back, I will forward it on again to the winner, who is Cindy Jenkins. And Cindy, again, please email me, FlossTube in the subject line, send me your mailing address, and as soon as I receive that back and get to the post office, I'll have that on the way out to you. And again, you will be receiving just the pattern. I've used the guts of the kit. So that brings us to today's giveaways. First one is going to be French Country Cat from JBW Designs. This was sent to me by Crystal Geek. Thank you, Crystal, for sending this for me to give away. So, so cute. Very, very cute. I had to talk myself out of keeping it because I really wanted to. But I didn't need it. I don't need any of this crap I buy, but I talked myself out of it. So it's going to be for you. So to enter, be a subscriber, like the video, comment below, and use the word cat. C-A-T. I'd like to stitch the cat. Next giveaway is Shepherd's Pie from Plum Street Samplers. I finished this, I think, last spring. It's been a little while since I finished it. And it's super, super cute. Lots of stitches in that sheep. I'd like to stitch the pie, P-I-E. You don't have to say I'd like to stitch, just use the word pie or cat, because that's what I'll search for. And again, be a subscriber, like the video, use that word in your comment. And then Love Never Fails from Barbara Anna Designs. This was my New Year's start I think maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I finished it anyway. It's been a while back. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Love it. I really need to get this framed and up on my wall because I just love it. Trying to think of what would be I'd like to stitch the couple, C-O-U-P-L-E, because I feel like the word love will be used a lot, whether or not you want the pattern. So I'd like to stitch the couple. And I will pull for the winners for both of these, or all three of these, via YouTube's random comment picker when I get back to do my next floss tube. A month-ish. Okay, is that all? Let me look at my list. I think that's all. Now, if you want to see Barry, my new kitten, hang tight and I will run get her out of the kitten room. If you don't care about the kitty, then no sweat. Thanks for coming to visit. I appreciate all of y'all, whether it's your first time to visit with me or you've been back multiple times. But if you want to see the kitty, hang tight and I will run get her. Hold on there. It'll take me just a minute to get her out of the kitten room. There we go. Here we go. Sorry for the dead air. This is Berry. She is Santal's Raspberry Beret of Bumblebee. She's a lilac point. She is September, October, November, December. She's will be 6 months old on the 3rd. And she's very, very, very sweet. She is virtually a complete outcross to my breeding program, which is important for maintaining health, because Burmans don't have an incredibly deep gene pool as is. So we really closely monitor what are called inbreeding coefficients, which basically measures the degree of relatedness between cats. And you want that inbreeding coefficient to be as low as possible. And having done test configurations to my stud boys, the highest was like 3%, and most of them are like under 1% inbreeding coefficient, which is awesome because I don't go over 13. 13% is my cutoff. If they're higher than 13%, I just don't do the breeding. But I'm thrilled to have her. She's kind of in the lanky phase right now. Her face looks a little longer and her ears look a little bit bigger than what's ideal, but she's a teenager and she will grow out of that to a large degree. Oh, sweet girl. You're my sweet girl, huh? What's this big world out here? But thank you so much to Cynthia Larson, who allowed me to bring her home. Hi, sweet Berry. Say hello, babies. Hello, y'all. Hello, FlossTube. Come here, sweet girl. And she'll be a year old on August 3rd. So hopefully, if all goes well, she'll be bred around that time, because I don't breed them usually till they're a year old. But she's sweet as pie. She's just purring away for me to hold her here. I love my babies so much, y'all. It's what Burmans are all about, is loving. I hope y'all have had a good time visiting with me. It's always good for me to visit with y'all. I wish you all the best. A healthy, happy, productive 2021. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.